Hi everyone, my name is Jessica, and if you thought you've ever had a boring holiday, think of me. Instead of hanging out with friends, traveling, and having fun, I'm scrubbing floors at my school. I'm not complaining though, I saw it coming. It all happened a couple of months before the end of the school year. Even though I wasn't a nerd, I had the best grades in our class. The teachers loved me and predicted me a gold medal. I hope to get one myself because it's easier to get into college. Who knew my dreams would remain dreams? One day after classes, I walked into a teacher's lounge to give a pen to our math teacher, Mrs. Wilson. She borrowed me one for a test. Love the way she teaches lessons. By the way, let me know in the comments what your favorite subject at school is. There was no one in the teacher's lounge. Apparently, Mrs. Wilson had gone to the cafeteria. I put the pen on the table and was about to leave, but saw a stack of tests we had written the day before. To my surprise, they have already been tested. I was curious whether I got an A or A+. I went through my classmates' test and finally saw mine. When I saw the grade, I couldn't believe it. It was a D! That will ruin all my hopes to get a gold medal. I can't explain what happened next, but I took the test and hid it under my shirt. The grades aren't in the database yet, and if my test is accidentally missing, they'll let me rewrite it. Although Mrs. Wilson probably remembered my D since I've never had such a bad grade before. It would be weird if only my test goes missing. I grabbed the whole stack from the table and ran into the hallway. My heart was racing, my hands were shaking, and I had no idea what I was doing. I needed to hide the test immediately, until someone noticed. Thank God, the classes were over and the hallways were empty. I opened my locker, but suddenly heard someone coming. I managed to put the tests in, shut the door, and saw Theo. Theo is the main school bully. He always does something, but everyone got used to it. The next day, the headmaster came to our class. He was clearly not himself, and I think I know why.
All your tests disappeared from the teacher's lounge yesterday. If someone has something to do with that, he'd better confess now.
The whole class went silent. I lowered my eyes because I didn't want to meet eyes with the headmaster and Mrs. Wilson.
Okay then, if everyone keeps quiet, it'll take a little longer to investigate, but I'll get to the truth anyway, and then whoever did it won't be happy.
Then I recalled the cameras hanging right over the teacher's lounge. Damn it, the first thing they were going to do was check them out. I excused myself to the bathroom and quickly went to the security room. I didn't have a specific plan, but realized that I'm screwed if I don't come up with something in the next few minutes. I had to lure the guard out. I couldn't come up with anything better than to set a garbage can in the woman's bathroom on fire. The light smoke triggered the alarm immediately. The guard ran for a fire extinguisher before he could close the door behind him. I broke into the office and deleted all of yesterday's surveillance footage. Then I walked out of the security room and headed toward the cafeteria, as if nothing had happened. Suddenly, the headmaster stopped me. My heart sank as he called me in for a word. That's it, I thought. I'm screwed.
Jessica, I want to talk to you about the missing tests.
I broke out in a sweat. A lump came to my throat. My legs buckled, and I collapsed into a chair.
Are you okay?
I don't feel well today.
I meant to ask you if you saw someone suspicious after classes, but we can talk some other time.
Did I really get away with it? Apparently they didn't even think about me, and I almost gave myself away. No, it's okay. That day...
No one will find out about our conversation. I promise. You don't have to be afraid.
I think I saw Theo in the hallway. He was coming from the teacher's lounge, but I'm not sure.
That's what I thought. You just confirmed my suspicions. He's the only one capable of this. You can go now.
They took Theo out of the class and went with him to check his locker. There was nothing except for cigarettes and sports uniform, but they still pinned missing tests on him. He swore he had nothing to do with it, but no one believed him. Theo's reputation played tricks on him. I felt sorry for him and ashamed of myself, but didn't have the guts to confess. No one even suspected that all the evidence was stored behind the next door. A month went by and everyone forgot about the incident, except Theo, of course. He stayed every day after school to clean the classes. There were rumors that he would even be left for a second year. Mrs. Wilson was reprimanded and stripped of her bonus, and the whole class soon had to rewrite the test again. That's how many people suffered because of what I did. Even though I had a guilty conscience, it got easier every day, and I was forgetting about the situation, until one day when I forgot something else important, to grab a pad. Period came unexpectedly right at the lesson. I had no idea what to do. It felt so uncomfortable. I was imagining the boys laughing at me. They don't get it. Girls, hit like button if you get me. The lesson was over and I was waiting everyone to leave the class. Then Mrs. Wilson came to me and gave me a pat. I blushed a little. "I've figured it out. It's on your face. Every girl has been in such a situation at least once. It's okay. There is nothing to be ashamed of." I thanked her and rushed to the bathroom. Oh, if she only knew why she lost her bonus, she wouldn't be so nice to me. I opened the pad in the bathroom and a small piece of paper fell out on the floor. "I know what happened a month ago," it said. I was shocked. How did she find out? I've covered my tracks. And then it hit me. The pen. I left it on the table. That's how she figured out who was in the teacher's lounge that day. Turned out Mrs. Wilson knew everything from the very beginning. But why didn't she tell anyone? Apparently, she was waiting for me to confess, but I hadn't. I ran out of the school and rushed home. I was so scared because I used to be Mrs. Wilson's favorite student, and now I'm her worst enemy. There was no doubt she hated me and would fail me on my final exam. Besides, I'm afraid to imagine what Theo would do to me when he finds out who really set him up. I couldn't sleep till the morning. I had a panic attack at night and realized the sooner I confess, the sooner it would be over. Besides, everyone has already known the truths. When I came to school, everyone seemed to whisper and looked at me in a weird way. I headed to the headmaster's office, having taken the test from my locker on the way. I came to the office and put the tests on the table. Mrs. Wilson has already been there. "Theo had nothing to do with that. I was the one who stole the tests because I saw my bad grade. I'm ready to be punished for my behavior." The office went deadly silent.
"Jessica, it can't be true."
"I was also the one who stole the video recordings and set the garbage can on fire in the women's bathroom. If it wasn't for Mrs. Wilson's note, I would never confess."
"What note? Jessica, what are you talking about?"
"The note in a pad that said I know what happened a month ago. You gave it to me." The headmaster didn't have a clue what we were talking about and looked at Mrs. Wilson. She started laughing.
"Every pad from this brand has a note inside. It's just a joke. Like you've had a period last month and they know it."
Thinking about this now, I find it ridiculous. It was so stupid to give myself away like this. On the other hand, I'm glad I don't have to live with this lie. A little more and I would have serious psychological problems. Even though I was punished with cleaning duties for the whole summer, I was not kicked out of school and was not left for the second year. Apparently, the whole situation seemed ridiculous to the headmaster as well. Besides, no one at the school found out what really happened. Mrs. Wilson told the class she found our tests in her car. Theo was released from his punishment. That's my story. Hit like button if you liked it. Don't forget to comment and of course subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new videos.